All men are mortal. All men must die.
Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world.
What are you doing under there?
We're watching 1975's Frozen Scream.
This'll only take a second, Tom.
Tom's wife, Anne, walks in on his murder.
I'm home. Tom?
And is hospitalised for shock, but...
Especially when the police arrived and found no evidence of what you're saying. No struggle. No needles.
The police find no body, and Dr. Lil Stanhope, a friend of Tom and Anne's, thinks that it's all in her mind.
I may have been hysterical, but I know what I saw, and I know I didn't make it up.
My name's Sergeant McGuire. I'm a cop.
This scene wasn't really panning out, so I'm here to simplify.
The doctors seem to have all the right answers ahead of time.
McGuire's voiceovers, I would guess, were added late in the day to clarify some things, but the scenes over which they are placed are occasionally very ill-chosen.
Love? If you ask me about love, I'd say it's a lot like life. When it's over, it's over.
More than anything, they give us a glimpse of McGuire's feelings for Anne, who chose Tom over him.
She broke off her engagement for no apparent reason.
Maybe it was my incessant narration.
And with Tom out of the way, I'll have a chance to win her back.
What is an appropriate amount of time to leave between a woman seeing her husband murdered and me sticking it to her?
You're still very much in love with him, aren't you?
But this is far from the film's biggest problem.
Sometimes I really don't know what I see in you, Sven.
Even McGuire has noticed.
A pretty bad acting job, I'd say.
The acting is catastrophic.
Good. You're awake. That's good news. You can go home today.
She woke up screaming and passed out.
That's normal.
It's fair to say Dr. Stanhope is the main offender.
What we are doing is wrong.
But the total lack of emotion is equally apparent in those who aren't working in a second language.
Oh, Kevin, you startled me.
And those who try to inject some feeling aren't helped by the dialogue.
I'm not going to guilt. I'm going to hell.
I don't even know what that means, but it all has consequences, no matter how many people are axed in the face. No matter how many priests are strangled.
Absolution, Father.
No matter how many random dreams about the seventh seal.
And...
crowbarring in a bit of nudity.
undress for me.
I simply don't care about these people, and the fact that I have only the slenderest of grasps on what's going on just doesn't matter.
Things we create are not human beings.
Dr. Stanhope and her partner, Dr. Creepy,
Oh, no, my dear. I'm too fond of your company in my bedroom.
are resurrecting the dead in some fashion.
She's like walking ice.
And it has something to do with cold.
And I'm cold. Help me, I'm so cold.
As the movie is keen to underline.
Your hand. It was cold as ice. Like death.
I'm sure it would like to be a meditation on the nature of the soul.
I haven't got a soul.
If the body could be made immortal, then what becomes of the soul?
Immortals live in the cool of the clouds.
But in the end, they're just zombies, and the only reason to watch is McGuire's unintentionally hilarious subplot.
What's the matter with you?
Get in the car. I'll explain at my place.
It was time to make my move on the bereaved. Mission accomplished.
Oh, Kevin. It's like seeing a whole different world.
Nobody rocks a widow in the sack like Kevin McGuire. And yet,
I couldn't figure out why Anne wouldn't tell me she loved me.
when I nail a woman the week after the violent death of her husband, I expect an emotional investment.
That's strange.
Actually, everything in this movie lacks emotional investment, whether it's the half-assed fistfight, the half-assed car crash,
Are you okay?
or Anne's stunning underreaction to discovering her husband in the dead guy's sauna. I feel like these characters care about the outcome almost as little as I do.
Would living as a frozen zombie forever be any better than facing the pain of things coming to an end?
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of our zombie film reviews...
Love and immortality? I survived being hit by the car, but I was having a harder time healing from being run over by Anne again. I hadn't heard from her since coming into the hospital. Things seemed to have ended as quickly as they began. Could Dr. Johnson have been on to something?